can just keep showing the momentum that they have been showing in the last few games, then who's to say that they can't go on to bigger and better things. But White's given the ball away, and then rather cheekily wins it back off of Edouard, who is playing on the left-hand side with Benteke up top and Jordan Ayew on the right. He won it back, but White stepped in and backheeled it away from him and to a teammate. Very comfortable play. Odegaard, it's a loose ball, and then in goes Jordan Ayew. That less than formidable strike rate, Jordan Ayew, which doesn't make particularly pleasant reading. Just finding the stat here. I've got it written down somewhere. Here we are. Last goal and only goal last season was a 4-1 Premier League win at home to Leeds, and that was November the 7th. Hasn't scored in 36, 34 in the Premier League. That's not particularly good news for Crystal Palace. But they're on attack at the moment. It's over towards the edge of the penalty area, and Conor Gallagher didn't quite come to him though off of Benteke, who bulldozed his way forward. Palace still have the ball though. Guihai, who's formed a decent partnership at the back there, the £18 million summer signing, the England under-21 international from Chelsea, alongside Joachim Anderson, who's on the ball at the moment, going back to his goalkeeper, the German Geita. Okay, Geita again, into his left foot. He's being closed down by Aubameyang, manages to squeeze it up towards the halfway line, cushioned back by Edouard, and Edouard continues his run down the the left-hand side. Tomiyasu gets in ahead of him though, does very, very well, and he got the ball fair and square and knocks it back to Aaron Ramsdale. It remains Arsenal 0, Crystal Palace 0 in North London. 3 minutes gone. No chances so far. Ramsdale with the clearance low, but finds Smith Rowe on the halfway line, turning towards the right-hand side. Away on the right is Pepe. Pepe gets the clearance against Mitchell. And out of play for a throw-in to Crystal Palace. And deep inside their own half. And it's really taken by Mitchell. And immediately it goes out to play for a throw into Arsenal. It's Takehiro Tomiyasu who's going to take it. The Japanese fullback can play in the heart of defence as well, but he's made that right back spot his own at the moment. Takes the throw down the right line to Pepe. Nicola Pepe puts it against Mitchell, and another throw into Arsenal. Tomiyasu right next to the corner flag down below us on the Arsenal right hand side. Good progress down the right from Arsenal. What can they muster up from a wide position? It's Pepe again, a little step over, back to Takehiro Tomiyasu. Signed in the summer from Bologna, the Japanese international. Saka. Gallagher takes it away from him, stretching as he bundles his way off the pitch there, Gallagher, and out of play for a throw. Gallagher trying to win the ball in the air. Odegaard was fouled in the process. Or was he? I think he's given it the other way actually, and no, he has given it to Arsenal. He's given a throw actually. Or has he? No, he's given a free kick. I wasn't quite sure what Mike Dean's got. He's not given any signal. He's just blown his whistle. And going on the positioning of the players. It's back with Arsenal at the back with White. Ball forward towards Saka down the left-hand side. He's got Tierney on the outside, but he gets the cross in, and that almost failed Aubameyang. Good header away from Guhai. Just about got there. Guhai could defend it in the right place at the right time. It's Smith Rowe. Seen plenty of the ball early on. Tierney back inside. Good slide rule pass from Partey. Partey again to Odegaard. The two midfielders combining, and out on the left is Saka. Saka take 0 to the Arsenal, which is no more than they deserve. Patrick Vieira out to the edge of his technical area. Only 9 minutes gone here, and Arsenal already have the advantage. And now Crystal Palace have got to try and find something from somewhere. And they've got no Wilf Sahar tonight. Gallagher could be their go-to man. He's driving forward down the left-hand side. 3 Arsenal players back there to take it off of him. Nicola Pepe, one of them. Here's Tomiyasu, who's quickly settled in well in North London. Only 22 years of age. Let's look a promising addition to this Arsenal outfit. It's going to take time for Arsenal. They've got a plan, and they're determined to execute it. Of course, they're always there to be shot at, but Arsenal have had a good 10 minutes to get this game rolling, leading by a goal to 0. It's Odegaard, another young, ambitious young midfielder, Norwegian international, only 22 years of age. Nicola Pepe beaten in the air by Tyrick Mitchell, who's been ever present so far in that left back position for Crystal Palace. And, it's been a very solid start from the home side. Unbeaten in all 4 Premier League meetings against Crystal Palace in the previous 2 seasons, although only 1 win, 3 draws. Crystal Palace are on their longest unbeaten league run away to Arsenal. They've won 1 and drawn 2 of the last 3 Premier League visits here. It's 3 without a win for Arsenal at home to Palace, but they're going the right way around eradicating that. Leading by a goal to 0 thanks to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's 3rd goal in the Premier League this season, 6th in all competitions. Had a lean time of things last season. Missed the start of the season, of course. Tomiyasu to Partey, the Ghanaian international. The most experienced at the goal again. Uses his left foot to guide it from the narrowest of angles. It's not an easy finish. He made it look easy. And Arsenal lead by a goal to 0. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with the only goal of the game so far. We've played 14 and a half, nearly 15 minutes. Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0 in the London derby. The return to Arsenal of Patrick Vieira, of course a great midfield player. Mikel Arteta wasn't bad either, was he? He played a slightly later era for Arsenal under Patrick Vieira, under Arsene Wenger, I should say. Here's Anderson on the edge of his own penalty area for Crystal Palace. Out to Ward. Ward has a touch, looks up, halfway line is hit with Ayew. Ayew, as the 15-minute mark is hit, loses control. Smith Rowe just prods it wide to the busy Nicola Pepe, who tries to clip one over the top towards Saka, but it was an adventurous ball, which I think took a deflection because the referee's given a corner. But it was an adventurous ball, but Saka didn't make the run. He didn't need to in the end because it came off of a Crystal Palace player on its way through. And it's a corner to Arsenal, who lead here by 1-0 and in search of their second. This is a Crystal Palace side without Wilf Zaha, remember, tonight, out injured. In comes the cross. It's a good ball in. It eluded everyone. Comes back into the penalty area. It's away eventually by Milivojevic. Just thrashes it anywhere will do. Up towards the halfway line. Now, here is Benteke. Wide towards Ayew on the left-hand side. Ayew has to try and shake off Odegaard. He also has to try and shake off Tomiyasu. So he has to go all the way back to his own half. And the 21-year-old Pierre-Emerick Mitchell. Spent 4 years at Brentford, Pierre-Emerick Mitchell. Had to leave. They closed the academy. And, well, funny how things go like that. And he's now playing against the likes of Brentford in the Premier League, Pierre-Emerick Mitchell. Scored against Leeds last season in an emphatic victory at Selhurst Park under lock and key, unfortunately. No one in the ground apart from the players and the officials. So, yet to score at Crystal Palace in front of fans. Mitchell. Here is Anderson for Palace, trying to feel their way back into the game. Here is chance for Mitchell to get forward, and he's done so very well. Edouard offside. He's just weaving his way towards the edge of the penalty area, and then suddenly Mark Scholes over on the far side waves his flag, and the whistle goes, and that's a free kick to Arsenal. So far, not so very good for Patrick Vieira on his return. His side trailing by 1-0. If you're just joining us, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with the goal. Arsenal have won their last 7 Premier League home games on Monday evenings, scoring 15 goals and conceding just 2. Crystal Palace, in the meanwhile, have won 1 of their last 9 Premier League games since mid-May, drawing 4 and losing 4. Exception being that 3-0 win last month at home to Arsenal's North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur. Sideways by Guihai over towards the right hand side. Jordan Ayew with a touch, reminding constantly that he hasn't scored for a year. Man that was top scorer for Crystal Palace 2 seasons ago. Off goes Edouard down the left hand side, but White steps across and makes it look easy. Pepe, he's giving it away. Loose play, Edouard to Mitchell. Fed forward by Anderson. And towards Milivojevic. MacArthur rather. They'd let McCarthy go, didn't they? MacArthur, long ball forward, headed on. I think the referee's playing on actually. I thought I heard the referee's whistle there, but no. There's one in the crowd. Arsenal are hunting in packs here. And Tierney's won it back. And it's Saka. And it's Smith Rowe. It's a good shot, low and hard outside the box, but within reach of Gaeta. And the Spaniard gets down and makes a comfortable save, but that's good. Hunting down. Ayew was knocked out of possession there by a combination of Tierney and Saka. Saka with a ball inside and Smith Rowe with a low drive. 25 yards out, very central. And very easy save in the end by the goalkeeper, who'd have expected to have done better there, Saka. England international. Here's Partey. Another long ball over the top, and it's towards the on-rushing Pepe. Right to the quadrant, the edge of his penalty area. His Gaeta just about kept that in play. And ball out towards the right, the left, and Mitchell and Guéhi. Anderson, Guéhi again. And it's just desperate to keep the ball as much as they can. That's what they've done in the last 5 minutes or so. It's Ayew. Toward inside to Milivojevic, and now Gallagher. That's decent play. Edouard inside the penalty area, looking for the pullback. He's found Gallagher. It's just behind Gallagher, but he manages to turn. He swivels, he hits it, but he hits it straight into the hands of Aaron Ramsdale from just outside the penalty area. First shot for Crystal Palace, and it was a good build-up actually. Edouard does well on the right-hand side, cuts back inside, sees off Gabriel, tees up Gallagher. His first touch was poor, in fact, But he's done well to rectify it and at least hit the target with a shot that requires a save from Aaron Ramsdale. Quite simple save really from Ramsdale. And it remains Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. We've played 23.5 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium, and Arsenal, who have been enjoying form of late, have only actually averaged 44.6% possession in their Premier League games this season. It's the lowest possession stats of Arsenal since the stats began nearly 20 years ago. Oh, Palace have given the ball away. Sloppy from Milivojevic. Smith Rowe, Saka, Smith Rowe. Can they punish Crystal Palace for their sloppiness? It's a long, powerful shot from Partey, which is blocked by Anderson, and Palace are able to clear through Gallagher and then Ayew. Back to Ward, which slows things down and just comes back inside to Anderson again. Anderson to Gihai. He rolls it straight into Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu couldn't control properly. And then Benteke, who's operating over on the left-hand side at the moment, tries to switch towards the right, and Ayew, cut out by Tierney. Saka, Tierney again. Quick ball forward from Tierney, but he got his angles completely wrong and hoisted it straight into the penalty area where Vincent Guaita dealt with it. Palace have possession once more. It's the confident Mark Gihai. Played for Swansea last season in the playoff final against Brentford. He's already faced Brentford again this season in a 0-0 draw early on. Here's Tyrick Mitchell, forward pass cut out easily by White. Now Odegaard off of the pass from Partey, finding Tierney, just steps forward from the left back position. It's Odegaard again, Norwegian, slowing things down, weighing up the situation into Partey, who goes back to Gabriel, the Brazilian former Lille player, signed from Lille at the beginning of last season. Was a part of the Lille side that shocked everyone in France last year, winning the Ligue 1. Here's White, bursts forward past Edouard, sends it wide to the right hand side, little dummy from Pepe. Smith Rowe, Pepe, Smith Rowe again, hoists a really high right-footed cross into the box, which requires the backward header from Joel Ward. Saka now for Arsenal, knocking on the door with Odegaard. That's a good ball from Odegaard in towards Tierney. Tried to get the cross in. It was actually good defending by Anderson. Rather than deflecting it behind for a corner, he managed to take the sting out of it, and it just bobbled nicely into the arms of his goalkeeper Guaita. And the Arsenal attack comes to nothing on this occasion. Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0 at the Emirates Stadium. Big red and white letters blazed around the pitch side saying, you want to come on an Arsenal tour? The Emirates Stadium's tour. Buy now, visit later. Well, food for thought, isn't it? It is a great stadium. It's not the greatest. There's one pretty good one just down the road at Tottenham Hotspur now. And the other way, Wembley. 3 great new stadiums. 15, 20 years ago, everyone inside the M25 was saying the only new stadium inside the M25 is Millwall. That's not the case now. Rebuilt Stamford Bridge. Some great stadiums inside London. Palace will be hoping to do something with theirs soon. Here's a good turn by Benteke. He goes for the corner, and down confidently is Aaron Ramsdale. But it was a good turn from Benteke. Edge of the penalty area. Milivojevic rolled it into him. He turned, and they weren't tight enough to him. Gabriel stood off, and he shouldn't have done. That was poor defending from Gabriel. Luckily for him, the shot from Benteke, whilst it was watching on. That's a foul, and a silly foul. It's a crossing opportunity, and it does give Gihai and Anderson the chance to get forward, and they will add a threat into the box. These are the moments that Crystal Palace will be hoping come along as frequently as possible, because those free kick opportunities are opportunities to ask questions of Arsenal. They've won 5 of their last 6 home games in all competitions of Arsenal. But this could be a test for them. Arsenal have some defending to do. Benteke's in there, Anderson's in there, Gihai's in there. Milivojevic is not bad in the air either, but he's going to be towards the near post, headed away by the man that gave away the free kick, Martin Odegaard, and cleared upfield towards the Crystal Palace goalkeeper Vincent Gaeta. Gaeta out wide on the left is Gihai. He goes back to Gaeta. Takes a step back inside his own penalty area. Right-footed ball out towards Ayew. Will have the possessions back with Tierney from the pass from Saka. Inside his own half, Gabriel waving people with his left arm and his right arm. He's not doing anything with the ball at his feet at the moment. He's just gesturing here, there and everywhere. Gets a return from Saka. He's got plenty to say for himself, the Brazilian. What can he do with his feet rather than his vocals? And the answer's just play it square to Tommy Yasu. There's weird stats that they come up with now. Win probability, Arsenal 76%, 6% probability of Crystal Palace winning. Okay, I don't know how they work that out. I'm not sure I want to. Here's Saka, wide to Smith Rowe, drills it hard and low, turned away by the Crystal Palace defender Joachim Anderson. And they'll start again with Gabriel. A little bit of space on the halfway line. Odegaard. He's got clipped by Gallagher there, but the referee says play on. White slices it slightly and it's out of play for a throw into Crystal Palace. £50 million summer signing from Brighton and Hove Albion in England international Ben White. That wasn't the best of passes beyond Nicola Pepe. Palace throw has been taken. It's back from Gihai to his goalkeeper Guita. Flick towards Gallagher by Ayew. Here's Ayew again. He'll let it go for a throw-in just inside the Arsenal half on the far side, the Crystal Palace right. Back inside he goes to Milivojevic. And all the way back to Anderson, who strolls through the centre circle from the right-hand side of that central partnership with Gihai, who's now on the ball. And now MacArthur. Back inside to Milivojevic. Chance to burst forward with Ward. First time he's really got forward. Ward, 200 plus appearances for a player that's been at the club, it seems, forever. And he's very loyal to the club as well, former Portsmouth man. Pull back, this is a real chance for Edouard. And he pulls it over the top of the crossbar from what, 15 yards out. Mitchell's done well down the left-hand side, pulls it back low. He's got to adjust his body though, as Edouard. It's a clever pullback. And onto his left foot, he's just hoisted it over the top of Aaron Ramsdale's crossbar on the turn. Speculative. It would have been some strike had it been on target and gone in. But Ramsdale not tested on that occasion. Just over 10 minutes to go to half-time. Arsenal goal kick. Arsenal 1. Sliding challenge from Partey. And cleared by Gabriel. And I think he'll go back and book James MacArthur. If he doesn't, it's certainly a last warning. It's going to be a last warning, I think. Aubameyang has come across to give his version of events, but I felt that was worthy of a yellow. And, taken well by Smith Rowe, put it through the legs of MacArthur, and I think that's what ruffled his feathers, and he's grabbed hold of Smith Rowe's shoulders and hauled him down. He's got away with that one. Could easily have been a yellow. One of those borderline ones. Sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it depends on what time of the game it is. Here's Benteke into the penalty area. It's good close control. Tries to flick it through towards Edouard. Arsenal have got numbers back there. And a foul by... Well, it wasn't a foul by Mitchell. In fact, the flag is up over on the far side. And it's an offside against Edouard. Although the ball never even made it through to him. 37.5 minutes gone. Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. Arsenal scored one Premier League goal in the second half of matches, and Crystal Palace have scored one Premier League goal in the first half of matches this season. I don't know if that's a clear indication that Arsenal seem to favour hitting the back of the net in the first half, so that stat would perhaps support those that fancy a draw, with Palace the more likely to score second half goals. They scored 2 second half goals, of course, in their last game. The 2-2 draw with Leicester City after being 2-0 down and got themselves back and got a draw in that game at Selhurst. Gaita's cleared the ball straight down the pitch and straight out of play for a throw into Arsenal. Carried forward by Gabriel, who gets it towards the right hand side. Smith Rowe. He's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he, Smith Rowe? Back from the goalkeeper Ramsdale towards Smith Rowe. Pepe's in there as well. It runs nicely towards Partey, who adds a little bit of solidity alongside Odegaard in the middle of that midfield. Just wonder, with the form they're in, if Xhaka's fit, does he get back in for one of those two? Long ball forward, too long. It's straight to Gaeta, who quickly bowls it out to Mitchell. Mitchell to MacArthur. Still one or two signs of the old Roy Hodgson era out there for Crystal Palace, with the likes of MacArthur and Ayew and Milivojevic. They're still good players. Ward, but Odegaard is clear to see it needed freshening up, and it still does need freshening up for Palace. I think they might just have enough this season to stay safe. Here's Gallagher. He's been one of those players to come in, having been relegated himself last season for West Brom. He's been performing better for Palace this season than he did for the Baggies last season, who have gone down. Went down without a whimper, didn't they? The bottom three: Sheffield United, West Bromwich Albion and Fulham. Here is Gihai. Gets the return from Milivojevic. Gihai again. Now MacArthur. Wide on the right is Ayew. Ayew gives it to MacArthur. Spins it back inside again. Milivojevic. Inch perfect ball to Tyreek Mitchell, who hoists it into the box. One in the air by Christian Benteke, but it was a backward header. Palace still have it. Thrust forward by Anderson. Ayew on the right hand side. It's a high ball in. Should have been caught by Ramsdale. Instead he decides to punch. You don't mind goalkeepers punching if they get distance. He got 25 yards on that one, so you've got to say goalkeeper did enough. But still don't know why goalkeepers don't catch them. I suppose it's because if you drop them, you drop it inside the 6-yard box. If you punch it, you know your job is done. And it has been raining. Aaron Saka was caught, and suddenly there's a big melee of players inside that penalty area. There's going to be a yellow card, which I think has been given to, I think, MacArthur for the foul on Saka. And he has now got his yellow card, MacArthur. Just having a look, didn't really catch what happened there. First ball headed away by Tierney, and as he's gone in there, MacArthur's just leant into. There's nothing in that. Nothing in that at all. He's gone to hit. Oh, he's gone to shoot, and as he's gone to shoot, and he's volleyed Saka instead of the ball, because the ball never come down because Saka had cleared it. So a yellow card. When you look at it from another angle, you think, yeah, that's why he's got a yellow card. That was the angle the referee saw it. Yeah, I think that was worthy. We get that when with the pullback on Smith Rowe a couple of minutes earlier. I think that combination has allowanced for a yellow card, and that's what Mike Dean has produced. So it's a yellow card apiece. Saka is on the ground at the moment getting some treatment from Jordan Rice, the first team physio here at the Emirates. And it's Arsenal who are currently 0-0. Tony Adams amongst those in the crowd today. Another former Arsenal legend, played right behind Patrick Vieira in that fine Arsenal side that played at the end of the last century. A great side it was too. How they'd love to see those successful days back at the Emirates. This is a promising young side, but there's a lot of development required. Saka is limping heavily from the challenge by MacArthur, who recently made his 300th Premier League appearance. Saka, still only 19. He's already got 60 plus appearances for Arsenal. And chipped him with 7 goals last season. Prompted Gareth Southgate to take him into the England squad for the Euros. He played a big part getting to the final. And the free kick from Ramsdale is a long one, straight onto the head of Gihai. And then MacArthur with the head down goes straight to Smith Rowe. He's stopped in his tracks by Ayew. It's Gabriel to Partey. Partey dispossessed. This is Gallagher. Gallagher down the right to Ayew. Ayew gets there first. Well, a great first touch, but he takes it beyond Gabriel down the right hand side. Tries to get the cross in. Smashes it against the knees of Gabriel. He puts it behind with around about 10 seconds to go in the first half for a Crystal Palace corner there. Pushing hard for an equaliser right on the stroke of half time. It's the first Crystal Palace corner of the game. Arsenal have had two. We're into stoppage time at the end of the half. The fourth official, Simon Hooper, is out with the board and says 3 minutes. It's going to be an outswing up for Milivojevic. Deep one as well. Headed back across by Benteke. And it was a great opportunity which has been blocked by some great goalkeeping by Aaron Ramsdale, but the flag is up on the far side anyway from Mark Scholes, so it wouldn't have counted. Just trying to see who it was. I think it was MacArthur. But MacArthur and Edouard were both offside, or Ayew was actually, and that's a good save from Ramsdale, who wasn't to note. But he got across and made the save at the feet of MacArthur. But it wouldn't have counted had he found the back of the net because the flag was up on the far side. And it's still Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. We've played nearly 1 minute of the 3 added on at the end of the first half. The Gunners beating the Eagles, which is something they haven't done in the last 3 meetings at the Emirates. That might just change today. But here's Edouard for Palace, who have made a solid start, a solid end to the half. Tried to dive in header, Benteke was never going to reach it. It's a great ball in from Ayew. A super ball in there. Anderson is in there, Gihai is in there. Milivojevic will take the corner, floats it in deep. Ramsdale comes out, good punch, and it's returned back in by Gallagher. And down goes Ramsdale to tap it behind with his palms. It's a good hit from Gallagher on the volley, right-footed. Ramsdale came, he got the punch, nearly took Gabriel's head off. And then he gets down and he makes a brilliant save because that's creeping in from Gallagher. Just having a look on the replay. Oh, yeah, that's dipping in. Good save from Ramsdale. And he keeps his Arsenal clean sheet intact. And somehow Crystal Palace have failed to score there. But Gallagher within a whisker of equalising the earlier goal from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the opening 10 minutes. It's not been plain sailing for Arsenal. And they haven't beaten Crystal Palace in 3 at home. That might change tonight. There's still work to be done though, but at half-time at the Emirates, it's Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. We'll be catching up with you with the second half in just a few minutes' time. James MacArthur and went down injured. Ultimately hasn't really recovered. They've taken him off as a precaution and brought on Albert Sambi Lokonga, the midfielder, the Belgian under-21 international. As we get this second half underway, Arsenal in their red and white shirts, red shirts with the white sleeves and the white shorts and the red and white hoop socks. There will one change. Looks like Sambi will go out to the left-hand side. We'll just wait and see on that one. At the moment, he's very central, and it looks like Odegaard's gone more forward and Smith Rowe wider. We'll keep a close eye on that one in a second, but here is the ball into the penalty area for Sambi. He's twisting and turning. And back to Odegaard, who's slightly more advanced this second half. Cross from Tomiyasu. It's cleared. And then Smith Rowe, who's down the left-hand side at the moment with Tierney. And then Sambi again. That's not reverted back to having Sambi and Partey together and Odegaard a little bit further up the pitch. Here is Gabriel to Ben White, just touches it into Partey, curls it over to the right hand side. Taking a good first touch is Tomiyasu forward towards Edouard, who's back there defending. Arsenal have started purposely in this second half. The cross coming in from Odegaard thrashed away by Anderson, out for a throw-in on the far side. Arsenal with Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney at the back, Partey and Sambi with Odegaard just in front of them in that middle of midfield, and then Pepe, Smith Rowe and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the goal scorer, going forward. On the bench they've got Holding, Maitland-Niles, Tavares, Suarez, El Neni and Martinelli. And Crystal Palace have... we'll just see this. We'll go through that lineup in just a second for the away team. Also, a beautiful strike! Well, that was something else from Partey, and he was aiming towards the top corner, and he opened up his body from fully 25 yards, and he really wasn't very far away from bending that spectacularly into the top corner. That was inches away from being one of the great goals. Absolutely brilliantly struck, just the wrong side of the post. So nearly 2-0. What a great strike from Thomas Partey. It's a goal kick to Crystal Palace, who are rather shell-shocked by that, I think. It's fair to say. As they try and build up a head of steam down the right-hand side. It's a ball forward by Gallagher, but he's overhit it towards Benteke. And now Smith Rowe on the halfway line for Arsenal, and he's got room to manoeuvre into. And he's got Tierney on the outside of him. The Scottish international checks back to the substitute at half-time, Albert Sambi Lokonga, the former Anderlecht man. He was a regular at Anderlecht last season in the Belgian Jupiler Pro. It's Tomiyasu. That's a big ask of Nicola Pepe. He's quite quick, but he ain't that quick. And across comes Gaeta to gather the ball. Saka is back out for the second half on the bench. He's not picked up any substantial knock. I think it's more bruising, and they've just not taken any chances. He was on a yellow card as well, and the decision was taken to not put him out for the second half. They've got backup. So Edouard back to Mitchell, and then forward by Anderson, straight onto the head of Tomiyasu, midway inside his own half. Comes off of MacArthur and out for a throw into Arsenal in the right back position. It's Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. 4 minutes into the second half here at the Emirates Stadium. Sprinkling of empty seats around the ground. It's not full by any means. It's not the easiest of places to get to on a Monday. Oh, it's been given away by Arsenal. It's Benteke into the box. Christian Benteke, beautifully finished. Oh, that's a wonderful goal from Christian Benteke, and he wheels off to the Crystal Palace fans. He taps the badge on his chest and he celebrates with them because he's just scored Crystal Palace's first goal of the season. Sorry, not Crystal Palace's first goal of the season, his first goal of the season in the Premier League. In fact, in any competition. But he's taken on Gabriel, and he slips it straight into the corner. Very, very good. But what on earth was Partey doing? He just gave away the ball cheaply. Well, at 1 minute, he almost hit the worldie of all worldy goals at one end, and then he goes and gives away the ball, and Crystal Palace equalise at the other. He felt he was fouled. Referee Mike Dean says no. I'm not the biggest fan of Christian Benteke, but that was a beautiful bit of skill and a wonderful finish into the corner, and Christian Benteke equalises for Arsenal, and Arsenal, who seemed to score all their goals in the first half, and then Crystal Palace, who seemed to score all their goals in the second half, apart from one in the Premier League in the first half. Arsenal only scored one in the second half, by the way, in the Premier League this season. That kind of weighs itself up, and that's justified itself because Palace are back and they're level. But how long for? Here's Pepe down the right-hand side. That might just get the urgent juices flowing again for Arsenal, but they've been crowded out by 5 yellow shirts in close proximity at the edge of the left-hand side of that penalty area. It's the Crystal Palace fans that are singing and chanting and celebrating at the moment. The Eagles are back level thanks to that brilliant strike from Christian Benteke to cancel out the very early goal in the first half from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So it's 1-1, and Palace would be delighted to have got themselves back, and Patrick Vieira as well, back on level terms, and Palace coming forward again. Ayew inside to Milivojevic up to the halfway line, and Edouard felt it was fouled. No, says the referee. It was won cleanly by Partey. And Partey journeys forward to Pepe. Pepe goes on the outside. He's trying to wriggle his way into a crossing position, but he's not being afforded the time by James MacArthur, who takes it off of him. It's cleared away by Tyreek Mitchell. And then Benteke tries to keep it in, but in doing so, he's actually headed it straight down the line, and Arsenal come forward. White scoops it forward. It's not a great ball, though. Pepe will chase. Does he keep it in? Yes, he does. Now White. Ball across towards the 6-yard box. It wasn't a good angled ball from Ben White, and it was straight at goalkeeper Gaeta, who got down, bent his knees, and just scooped the ball up with ease. It was nothing more than a firm back pass, really, for the Crystal Palace goalkeeper, the German. The Spaniard, rather. He's not German, he's Spaniard. It was the cross from the Englishman. Straight at him. Here's Gaeta again, being put under pressure by Aubameyang, who's been fairly quiet tonight, apart from his goal, which was a well-taken goal in the 6th minute. Cancelled out in the 5th minute of the second half by Christian Benteke. There is Party, who was the guilty party, quite literally, for the goal. And Sambi back to Gabriel. The Brazilian looks to the left and finds Tierney. Back inside to Party again. Tierney makes a good run down the left-hand side, and he's trying to take on Ward. Ward's not having none of it. Stands up strong. Back to Sambi. Across to the right-hand side, and Martin Odegaard comes inside on his left foot. Still Odegaard. Finding Sambi. Odegaard. It's a great reverse pass and a good scoop forward from Smith Rowe. And then Smith Rowe goes into the penalty area. He's lost his tracking and ended up committing the foul. Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 1. And the Eagles have landed at an equaliser. It's a very, very well taken equaliser as well by Christian Benteke. Comes inside, and it was a slow reaction from Gabriel. By the time Tierney had got there, the shot was on its way into the corner from Christian Benteke. The celebrations from Patrick Vieira were there for all to see. Made 406 appearances and won 6 major trophies in 9 seasons with Arsenal. Between 1996 and 2005, he became the 4th man to play for and manage against Arsenal tonight in Premier League history, after David O'Leary, Tony Adams and Gade as well. Remy Gade. Remember him? Had that brief spell. Win percentage, oh here we go, that win probability is back again. They've now got a 19% chance of winning Crystal Palace. 43% draw is the favourite. 38% Arsenal win. I just don't buy into how they work that all out. That's must be some sensational formulas that go into totting that up, unless it's